This is W2FJH bringing up the STNY digital voicemail on Brand Mike's Talk Group 31367, Wires X Room 83721, and on Zoom. The primary purpose of the STNY digital voicenet is to help foster an active digital voice community in the southern tier of New York and to provide a forum for those that are interested or have questions regarding various digital voice topics. While this net is primarily for the southern tier, all stations are more than welcome to check in. This net meets weekly on Sundays at 7 p.m. Again, the call is Whiskey 2 Foxtrot Juliet Hotel, and the name here is Frank. We'll first take a standby for any stations with emergency or priority traffic. Please call now. Okay, nothing heard there. If there is any emergency or priority traffic during this net, please give a call sign followed by the word break spoken 2 times. Please leave a 45-second pause between transmissions for breaking stations or for those who wish to disconnect this talk group. This is a directed net, and the format will follow announcements, questions, and comments. This net utilizes NetLogger, which can be found at netlogger.org. NetLogger is not required, and we will take additional voice check-ins. For more information about this net or to join the Zoom meeting, please visit STNYDMR.net. That's Sierra Tango November Yankee Delta Mike Romeo.net. You can also find us on 73.net. That's Sierra Echo Victor Echo November numeric number 3.net. This net will prioritize short-time, mobile, in and out, or emergency power stations, followed by NetLogger check-ins, followed by voice check-ins. I was taking the liberty of checking in 2 stations that I saw key up. The net would like to recognize N2NCB Paul and N3OJP Mick. All right, when checking in, please give your call sign, your name, and your location. So let's take a standby for any stations that are short time, mobile, in and out, or emergency power. Please call now. Okay, nothing heard there. However, I did see another station wanted to check in through NetLogger. So the net would like to recognize N2 UTV John and N2 NRA Cliff. All right, so let's open it up for any station that would like to check into the STNY Digital Voice Net this evening. Please call now. Okay, nothing heard, but let's give it one more go. For any stations that would like to check into the STNY Digital Voice Net that I haven't already checked in already, please call now. All right, I must have done a really good job of picking everybody up there. So, all right, now let's kick things off. If there's any announcements for this evening, please call now. Okay, nothing heard, so we'll move on to questions. If there's any questions for the net this evening, please call now. All right, then we will move into the comments. All right, so the net topic this evening was how was your Thanksgiving, and what are you grateful for this year? So first on my list is N2NCB. Paul, kick it off for us there.
Hello again, Frank and all, N2NCB here. Thanksgiving was quiet. There was just the two of us. Everybody else was going off in either different directions or staying put in out of, because all the kids except for one are out of state. So we just had a nice, quiet Thanksgiving. In fact, a couple times I went outside. It even seemed to be quiet out there as well. Not only traffic-wise, but all over quiet. And today we got around to do some of those things that, yeah, it's there. I don't want to do it today. Well, today was the day I did it, so we got that done. And for some reason, our doctor's office wasn't getting the COVID in his booster as much as we wanted it to. So we got right into CVS this afternoon and got that accomplished. So that's taken care of. And let's see. Seems like there's something else I was going to mention too. Oh, yes. Nick, I hope you're down in Pennsylvania. Because by the looks of what I saw earlier this evening, Chautauqua County, Cattaraugus County, anywhere from 8 to 18 inches of snow. So I'm kind of glad I don't live out there. Back to you, Frank. Take care. I'll N2NCB.
Hey, very good there, Paul. And yeah, sometimes a quiet Thanksgiving is always a good thing as well. So actually, me, the wife, and little baby Lillian, we all got sick over the weekend last week, and the family didn't kind of want to do Thanksgiving because it seemed like the whole family was sick. So we were actually celebrating this evening. But yeah, for Thanksgiving itself, it was just me, the wife, and Lillian. We just had a small dinner, and it was actually a very enjoyable Thanksgiving. And we were, come Thursday, we were starting to feel better over getting over this cold. So, all right, we'll go send it right over to Mick to see how he's doing. Hopefully, he's not in that path of that snow. So, M3OJP, take it away there, Mick.
Good evening, Frank. Everybody on the net. And Paul, I'm glad I'm not there either. I'm in Pennsylvania here. I thought about going up. I wanted to do some fishing. But in fact, I heard on the there's a health and welfare net on every morning, pretty much for Western Pennsylvania. It's on HF 3983. And a fellow came on from Erie and pretty much gave the same forecast you had mentioned, all that snow. So, yeah, I kind of crossed that off the list. As much as I love fishing, I don't need all that excitement. But, yeah, we had a nice Thanksgiving. No heavy lifting on my part, that's for sure. Kind of took it easy. Family was here and friends. It was kind of nice. It was a quiet day. A lot of people here, but it worked out pretty good. Grandson was here, so he's always a lot of fun. And then here in Western Pennsylvania, every Friday they have the high school football playoffs, Class A to 4A, and then I think 5A and 6 are on Saturday. Anyway, on Friday, 2 local teams from Beaver County were in there. So, in fact, the one is Aliquippa. They've been going there 16 years straight to the championship game. Of course, then they go to the state finals. What's interesting about this little school, it's a Class A as far as the amount of people, or kids. but they're so good they play up to 4A. And in fact, they're the only high school in the country that has 3 players in the NFL Hall of Fame: Mike Ditka, Ty Law, and Darrell Revis. Let me get a quick break here, Frank. Yeah, Aliquippa, tough area. That's where Jones and Laughlin started here. They built a big plant. Oh, let's see. God, Joe, I got a flu shot last week, and I heard Paul mention the COVID shot, but a friend of mine got the COVID shot 2 weeks ago. Then he gets COVID, so, but not too bad. He wasn't that sick, so that probably had something to do with it. And Frank, you asked about being grateful, and I want to say, well, I'm grateful the family had a good year. Nothing really happened. Things progressed. Everybody's doing well. There's always a few things that go on, but pretty much minor in the grand scheme of things. So that worked out well. I'll turn it back to you, Frank, and listen to the net here. I'm on Zoom also at some point. W2FJHN30JP.
Hey, very good there, Mick. And yeah, sometimes just the smallest things that, just your microwave goes out and breaks or something, and you don't really realize how much you use your microwave until you don't have it, and then you're grateful for your microwave and some of the small things. So we've had some plumbing problems recently, so I am very grateful for my family's health. And also that we have a functioning toilet and shower. So, I mean, sometimes you got to be grateful for the small things. So, all right, next on my list is N2UTV. John, how was your week?
Everybody, week off's not been too bad. Thanksgiving hadn't gone quite the way we expected. I take vacation every year at this time because my girls love to go down and see Grandpa, but unfortunately, my car decided it didn't want to go down there this year, so we decided to spend some time here at home, and my oldest daughter and I took a trip down to Owego on Friday to go see her grandmother, so we had a good time with her, and then my brother texted me saying that his wife is sick, so we couldn't stay the night, so there was some more of my plans that got shot down, but we had a good time with the ex-mother-in-law, and because we all couldn't go to my brother's house, her son and his kids come over to visit, so we all got to go out for a late Thanksgiving dinner with some friends in the immediate family down there, so it turned out pretty good. And if anybody here can explain how this net logger works, I'd appreciate you letting me know. I turn it on so I can monitor it so I can figure out what's going on, and next thing I know, my name shows up like it signed me in, so I was going to ask, how do you sign into the net logger? So if I was being thankful, I'm actually thankful that all 4 of my kids actually do live with me, and they're right here with me, even though they're all adults. My baby just turned 18, is now driving, so I'm a little worried about that. But other than that, I'm thankful for having the family, and both here and the family here in New York and PA. I just wish I could have seen them. But like I say, if anybody can explain this net logger to me, I really would appreciate it. So with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Net Control N2UTV.
Hey, John, very good there. And yeah, next time you're in the Owego area, actually, you're in mine and Paul's area. We're both from Owego here, so next time, definitely maybe shoot me an email or something. Maybe I'll catch up with you to grab a cup of coffee or some sort of a beverage there. Yeah, so I can explain the net logger thing. So on my end, that I'm starting the net, I actually can see who's kind of joined the room, and when you join the room, I'm pretty quick about it. So you might have just seen that you automatically got added in. But that was actually me putting you on the list there. And as you actually see the pink bar that's going across, that's currently the part of the net that we're in, and kind of I move it down manually as we come down through the net. So some of the things that look like it's just automating and look like it's going by its thing, it's actually being controlled on my side to try to keep that going and also inform anybody else who maybe wants to check in, or they kind of know how many people there are down the list. So maybe if they have to use a restroom or something, they can go do that and they can come back and they know they won't be getting called on directly there. So I'll hand it back over to you there, John. Hopefully I answered your question regarding that, but if you have any more, just let me know.
Yeah, Frank, my question would be if you didn't sign me in on your end, how would I do it on my end? Because I've heard of stations that never announced they were signing in on the air, but yet they've been announced they were on the net logger. So I was interested. Do I just type it in at my end and it'll show up on yours?
So there is a app on there. If you see the AIM window, you could type a message in there, and it's just to the whole group. It's not necessarily just to the loggers. It's kind of just a almost instant messenger. That's what they have for the window there. So it doesn't come up instantly. Sometimes it takes a few seconds to actually appear. But as far as I know, there is no way for somebody to check themselves into the net. It would be on the net control operator or the logger of this to check somebody in. And if you are a net logger, you might have just seen from the AIM window or the monitors window. There was another ham WZ4K that kind of came in. They joined the room and then they left immediately. So there are some people who are just testing things out. They want to see what NetLogger is all about. They're just picking a random room just to try to join. But typically we try to put, there is some information about Brandmeister 31367 and where we're doing this net. So if anybody does find it on NetLogger, they should be able to join in through the net here. So hopefully I answered your questions there, John. And so I'll hand it back over to you and see how I did.
Okay, yeah, thank you there, Frank. Yeah, you answered my questions, so I'm assuming if you don't catch it on your end, I'll just go ahead and send in an I am if I don't want to get on the air as far as the check-in, but yeah, you answered my question, and this is, like I say, NetLog is new to me, and I'm going to play around with it. So, well, thanks for the info, and turn it back to you, Frank. This is N2U TV.
Hey, very good there, John. And yeah, maybe down the road here for one of the nets we can do a afternet tech discussion on NetLogger there. Obviously during the net I'd be using NetLogger. It's kind of hard to discuss there. But after the net, definitely we can make it a little dummy net. We can kind of walk through basically how it looks on my end and how it looks on everybody else's end. All right. This is W2FJ8 with the STNY Digital Voice Net. Before I get to my next station, we're going to take another standby here, and I would also like to have the net recognize KV2SIN that has just joined the NetLogger room. So I do have you checked in there, Bill. All right, but let's take a standby. If there's any additional stations that would like to check into the STNY Digital Voice Net this evening, please call now. All right, another heard there. So we will continue on down our list, and just an interesting fact there. I just noticed that Bill's your call sign is in all caps, and I'm used to typing in all caps for the call signs there, and it still shows that you're looking. But I do have you checked in there, Bill. I will make my way on down the list to you. So, all right, next on my list though is N2NRA. Cliff, how was your week?
Good evening to the group. Cliff here, N2NRA in Waverly, New York.
And the weather is 39 degrees, a bit windy, and the weatherman's saying something about maybe some snow between now and tomorrow morning, and this week will be pretty cold. Looking forward to the warmer weather towards Friday and the weekend coming up. So the Thanksgiving went well at my son's house, and a lot of family around, and thankful for everybody's health for the year as well, and we'll be looking forward to good health next year. This was N2NRA back to you, Frank, W2FJH. This is N2NRA.
Hey, very good there, Cliff. All right. Next on my list is KB2 SIN Bill. I promise I'd get to you there. So, all right, take it away there. Just by the way, sorry. I'm going to give you the net topic in case you didn't catch it at the beginning of the net here. The net topic for this evening was how was your Thanksgiving and what are you grateful for this year? So, take it away there, Bill.
Good evening. And KB2SIN. Good evening, Frank and everybody else. And well, Thanksgiving was good. We had about 16 people over, and it went rather well. We're not getting snowed in here. It's starting to rain here a little bit over Port Crane. And what am I thankful for? Well, I woke up on this side of the grass this morning. And thankful for actually reaching the retirement age. So now that I'm fully retired, I'm happy with that. And I'm driving my wife crazy, which makes me thankful for that. Other than that, Frank, one thing, N2RWH, Ed, he will be contacting you. He just picked up in Anytone and an open spot for, and he should be getting that this week. I told him you would be the guy to contact for with the code plug for this area. He's having it programmed by Ridgecom, but I told him to get a hold of you with local code plugs also for the Anytone. And I'm looking at the NetLogger. It's the first time I've ever signed in, and it's saying enter my QRZ API key in the settings. Maybe when you get done here, you could explain what that is. KB2SIN, back to you, Frank.
Hey, no problem there, Bill. And yeah, anytime I can try to help him out there. And just so you know, and anybody else on the net is also aware. Actually, on 73.net under our space for the STNY digital voice net. Up at the top, you'll find it says space menu. Usually people just stay on streams. That's what they're looking for. But there is also a files button there, and if you scroll down, you'll see there's actually a folder of DMR code plugs. I'm just trying to pull it up really quick here on my screen. And yeah, we have the Alinco DJ MD5, we have the BTEC 6X2, we have the Anytone 878 UV. Actually, both me and Ed, NE2W, have two different versions there. And we have code plugs for the Radioddity GD77 as well. I'm just noticing I never uploaded my code plug for the GD88, Radioddity GD88. That was one that was a little bit more difficult to program at the time. But just so anybody knows, they are up there if you have any of those radios and you would like a code plug for the local analog repeaters, as well as if you have them programmed in there for a particular hotspot. You might need to change the frequency depending on if you change the frequency of your hotspot. But they are out there and available, so I'll definitely make sure to let him know, and maybe he could potentially copy and paste some of those into his one that's programmed from Brandmeister. Right. I'm sorry, Bill. I'm drawing a blank on the second part of that I was going to answer for you. So I'll hand it back to you there. Maybe remind me, or maybe my pen wasn't going as fast as I would have liked it to go. So please remind me there, Bill, what the second part of that question you wanted me to answer was.
Very good, Frank. I'm noticing that, like, I just downloaded the NetLogger into my phone, and it was asking me for a QRZ API key and to put it into the settings. Where do I get that API key?
Okay, I am. Oh, that's right. The QRZ for. Oh, sorry. You're looking at NetLogger. I'm not sure if there is a NetLogger for Android. There is a NetLogger application for Windows and I believe Linux PCs. Um, so I do know under the setup for that there is a portion of it that you can put in your QRZ username and password, and that's kind of how it's using QRZ on at least the back end for me. I put in a call sign and it'll pull up the name, the person, city, and state, and I can kind of go from there. So this way I'm not manually typing these in one at a time. But if there is a new Android version, I would be interested to know that to kind of see what they're looking for there. But I believe it might just be the user and password for QRZ. I'm not familiar if QRZ has an API key access, as far as I'm aware. But I'll hand it back over to you there, Bill, and I'll see what platform you're using NetLogger on.
Give it to us, saying I've got it on my Android. It's called NetLogger Companion, and I signed into it, obviously, but it's asking for that QRZ API key, and it's a series of, I think, 10 numerals or letters. I'm not sure. It gives four, then a dash, then another four, and a dash, and you got to put this API key in there. And that's why I was asking what if you knew what this API key was for QRZ. Give it to us, Ian.
Yeah, not offhand, honestly. That's something I'd have to take a peek at here after the net. If you wanted to join the Zoom meeting, it's on stnydmr.net. But I will open it up here if anybody else has an experience with a QRZ API key. If you do, please call now. Okay, nothing heard there. It kind of sounds like you're in uncharted waters there, Bill. So I guess we're all learning something new this evening. So definitely jot that down. I'll have to give that a look. The NetLogger Companion, and I'll have to find what the QRZ API key is. If you had time to join in on Zoom after the meeting, otherwise I could always talk with you next week, or I could try to shoot you an email if I can't find an answer. So. All right, this is W2FJH with the STNY Digital VoiceNet. Let's see if there's any additional stations that would like to check in this evening. Please call now.
N2NCB with info.
And to NCV, Paul, fire away with your comments there.
Okay, this is for Bill's question. QRZ, the API key. What I did, I Googled QRZ APRI, hit enter, and the screen came up, and it already, because I'm in QRZ already, and that came up And in there, there's a spot of the API. You have to click on show because it doesn't show it immediately. But it's a group of four separate four numbers. If that makes any sense. So in other words, there's 16 numbers, each separated by a dash. And it's in the apparently it's in the logbook documentation in QRZ, but that's where you find the number, Bill, N2NCB.
Hey, very good there, Paul. Let me hand it back over to KB2SIN. See if Paul answered your question there, Bill.
What?
Hey, sorry about that, Bill. I caught the last second of your transmission. I might have doubled with you. Could you repeat your last transmission?
Yeah, affirmative. Paul, appreciate that. You stated you go into the QRZ page and under logbook, it will give the API key, correct?
Yeah, you can do it that way, Bill, or to get more direct, like I say, I just Googled QRZ and the APRI and mashed enter. The first thing came up, took me right to that spot, but it's the logbook 3.0 documentation, yes, N2NCB.
Okay, very good. You Googled APRI or API? Because under NetLogger it's showing API.
Well, that's what I did, and you're right. It's just API, but I thought in the discussion I heard the R in there. So that's what I did. How I got to that point, I don't know, but it worked.
Okay, I will Google QRZ API key and see where that takes me. I appreciate that, Paul, very much so. And hopefully we'll be able to chat with you here on the TechNet on the 865 here in a little bit. So, all right, KB2SIN, back to you, Frank.
Hey, very good there, Bill, and thanks, Paul, for the quick turnaround on that. Yeah, I was trying to look it up myself, but with having NetLogger up and everything else and trying to monitor, I can't really add one more thing to my queue right now. So, thank you very much there. All right, this is W2FJH with the STNY Digital Voice Net. Let's see if there's any additional stations that would like to check into the net this evening. Please call now.
This is N30JP. Comment?
N30JP, Mick, fire away with your comment there.
Oh, thanks, Frank. Yeah, just to add what Paul was explaining to Bill. I found my API key. Pretty much, I did the same thing what Paul did, but Paul made it a little easier. I went to QRZ. Of course, I signed in. And then on the far right, you got your call sign. So I hovered over that, then I scrolled down to my logbook. Of course, you get all your logs in there. And then in the top right, there's it's called Settings. It's in that blue bar. It's right next to Refresh. I think Paul had mentioned this. So you click on Settings, and then scroll down just a little bit, and you'll see a logbook info. And right underneath logbook info, you'll see QRZ logbook API bill. It's blurred out. And like Paul said, you got to click on Show. It's got that little eyeball. So if you click on Show, then you'll see the keys. So, yeah, that's pretty much how I did it right through QRZ. It was pretty simple. Back to you, Frank, N30JP.
Hey, very good there, Mick, and thanks more for the classification of where to find that API key. So. All right, let's make this final call here. For any stations that have checked in with any additional comments, questions, or concerns, or any other stations that are like to check in last minute there, please call now. All right, with nothing heard, we might as well wrap things up here. Just so you know, Bill, again, you can join us on the Zoom meeting, or the Zoom link is on STNY.dmr.net. We can take a look more into the QRZ API key that you're looking for and trying to get that NetLogger companion set up. However, the TechNet topic I was going to talk about this evening, if anybody is interested, it was on installing and configuring DroidStar for your Windows PC as a backup or an additional method for accessing DMR, YSF, or DStar. Just as another, hey, if your hotspot's not working or your cell phone, DroidStar on your cell phone, it's always great to have options there for another way in and to join in on any of the nets on DMR or YSF. So I'd like to thank Paul, Mick, John, Cliff, Bill for joining me this evening. We'll be returning this talk group back to normal amateur radio use. Everybody have a great and safe week there. This is W2FGH, and I'll be listening.